Independent. Benfica Independent is an independent platform made by fans for fans, and in it you can find opinion articles, podcasts, including ours truly, and also modalidades, if you will. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/Benfica Independent, where you can get merch, you can sign to get exclusive content, and share your Benfiquismo.
Ser benfiquista é uma crença. É uma religião muito grande. A adesão um culto. Que é liberdade, que é crer, que é vontade, que é o caráter das pessoas.
A alma de quem é grande, maior que os maiores. É uma paixão que não tem explicação.
Eu não consigo explicar o que é ser do Benfica. Eu sinto o que é ser do Benfica. É de facto uma paixão. E as paixões são assim, vivem-se assim, intensamente.
Aqui não há nenhuma razão. É paixão, paixão, paixão.
Ser Benfica. Até à morte.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Talking to the Doll Benfica podcast. My name is Alfredo Fumaças, with you as always every Tuesday or Wednesday night, whatever it falls on. Here we are to talk the latest Benfica. And what a day we've had as Benfiquistas. Cristiano Oliveira, as always. What's happening, my friend?
Alfredo Fumaças. Let me just start off by saying that right before we went live, I was sitting here dragging ass, complaining about a fever, possible flu, possible cold, possibly nothing. We'll never know. But still, I don't feel terrific right now. And once I heard that freaking intro, bro, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go run a couple of laps for Verissimo. I'm ready to do whatever it takes, bro. Bora!
What's going on, Dave de Oliveira? Running the show as always.
Good to be back on here tonight. Hope everyone had a great Christmas. Hope Santa Claus was well to all the Freddies. They got the Freddies coming in the chat already, but good to be back on. And I'm sure Chris has nothing to talk about tonight. So it's you and I, Alfredo, that are doing most of the talking tonight here.
Yeah. Hello to all the Freddies that are coming in. Fabs, Davian, Brun Singer, and Nelson Gafania so far.
Yo, from my Gafania, bro. One of my seven. I don't know.
Yeah, listen. Gafania to your Gafania. From my Gafania to your Gafania.
Yeah, there's Gafania is the best. No,
which one?
Gafania.
There's multiple Gafanias.
There's like 7 of them, but it's all right. Don't worry about it.
It's like the 7 dwarfs. There's a Gafania for every mood.
But one street though that runs through all 7, right?
And tonight I'm the sleepy one. Yo, man, you belong in the sur, but you don't even. You're gonna comment on the mainland.
Hey, if you could say you're from Stubble, Dave could say he's from Gafania also.
I am from Stubble, bro. Stop hating. I'm from Gafania. I'm from Aveiro. I'm from Stubble. I'm from Alcochete. And my heart's in Lisbon at Estádio da Luz. So, look, technically, I got a bunch of homes.
You're an international man of mystery.
See?
You know no boundaries. You belong to the world. You're a citizen of the world. What's going on, everybody?
A Swiss Army knife. Portuguese Army knife. Sabes como é que é?
What's going on? Só tem uma faca para cortar o queijo e para cortar o
Eu nem gosto de queijo, mas eu corto para os outros, que eu sou o gajo bom. Estás a ver? Ofereço o queijo.
So anyway, here we are. December 28th, 2021, our last show of this 2021 year. And what a day it has been and what a year it has been. Of course, if you haven't been hiding under the rock, you'd know that that JJ has stepped down. We found the news today. There was some buzz yesterday that JJ was going to step down, and then this morning, if you live here in this side of the world, you woke up to tweets confirming that JJ had stepped down. Mutual decision. That's how it was announced. And I don't know. Cristiano?
Oh, wait. Wait. This is the confusing part. He stepped down, but they're still paying him until June?
Yeah.
Então,
that was the agreement.
Chamou uma faca portuguesa, mas daquelas das boas. You cut out whatever you want, you still getting paid. You cut your cake and you still have it. So come on.
Yeah.
I thought it was, again, they're framing it as a mutual agreement to both go our separate ways, right? Or to go their separate ways, I should say. But the fact that Benfica is still paying them until June, leads me to believe that he was fired. Massage Maquet, they're putting that makeup on the pig and trying to make it look pretty. Alfredo, that's the only thing I could think of, man. Because if it was mutual, like, look, bro, you go your way, I go my way, sayonara. We don't continue to pay your salary if you chose to walk away on me.
Everything about this looks fishy, man. Even this presser that they did, man, it was so staged. So fucking staged. I mean, like Rui Costa, like Rui Costa and JJ couldn't hug outside the presser. They had to hug for the media to take a picture. It just speaks volumes as far as to how the club has been run and who's running this club. I'll give you a little bit of timeline, right? So we could give some context to all of this, right? So after the Porto game in the locker room, Pizzi spoke up saying that he was embarrassed, that the players weren't putting in the effort, that this is embarrassing, and he doesn't like losing to Porto, and there's guys just going through the motion. Basically, he called out the whole squad, right? As a captain, maybe he has the right to do that. Luizão stepped in, right? And Luizão said, hey, before you criticize everyone, you should also look at yourself, because as we all know, Pizzi hasn't been, at least from his body language, as committed as he should be as a captain, as a role model, as an example setter. And then you have Rui Pedro Braz, which was the guy that Benfica hired to replace Thiago Pinto, came out and defending Pizzi. All of this without JJ being there, right? So fast forward to Monday. And apparently before the training session, JJ confronted Pizzi about what had happened, what he had said. And apparently they exchanged some words, and JJ decided he was going to push Pizzi off, or he was going to say, with me, you won't play anymore. It's a little bit of fuzzy. I don't know if it was Monday or if it was Tuesday. I think Monday gave the day off to the team. So I think it was today. So
no, it was Sunday. He gave the day off because Grimaldo had tested positive. So technically they were supposed to come back to training on Monday, and then that's when this whole brouhaha went on.
Yeah. So he had a conversation with Pizzi. He said, I'm gonna put you aside. You're not gonna play with me anymore. And apparently there was a revolt on the team where the team said that we're not gonna train. We're not going to train today if that's the way you're going to act. They took Pizzi's side, blah, 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 blah. So they ended up not having a training session on Monday also, from what I understand. And I think at that point, then today, Rui Costa decided, no. Pizzi is back with the team. And I think that's a straw that broke the camel's back, is when JJ said, basically, that he felt that the locker room was against him, and he was just going to step down. I mean, to me, it makes a lot of sense when the team's not with you. And look, we have seen signs of this throughout the past few months. When the team is not with you, hey, the best thing you have to do is step down, because if you've lost the team, that's it. There's nothing else you're going to do to bring the team back.
Did he lose the team? Did he resign, or quote unquote resign, because he felt he lost the team, or because he felt he lost his voice in the locker room due to the fact that management kind of stepped on his assistant coaches, when that whole stuff happened with Pizzi in the locker room? What do you think? What would you guess, Alfredo?
Say that again.
Dave, do you think he resigned due to the fact that he lost the locker room, or the fact that he lost his voice in the locker room because management overstepped his assistant coaches when I guess they were telling him, but
isn't that the same? Losing
That's
his
what I'm
voice
thinking.
or
But
losing control?
I think what
no,
Chris
because
is trying
losing
to
the
say,
players and losing management, because you can lose the players, but if the president, if the powers that be up top say, look, at the end of the day, you don't have to like it. This is your coach. Do what you got to do. The fact that the people up top didn't back him up, I think that's really the straw that broke the camel's back. Now,
no, I agree with that. And a couple days ago, he had said on the media, or something came out on the media, that he felt that he wasn't supported by the structure, and I get that. And here's the other thing, man. All these leaks of information since the Otamendi blow up, which was in Munich, if I'm not mistaken, right? Since that that the club came out and denied everything, there's somebody on the inside that's giving out this this information to the media, right? With the intent of destabilizing the team. I don't know if it was a player. I don't know if it was somebody in the structure, but it could have been very well. Who would have this benefited, right? If you want to get the coach out, would have been the players, right? So it could have been Pizzi, could have been Andre Almeida, it could have been any player just giving out this information, just letting it out. I just don't know, but I tend to agree with you, Cristiano, because if the structure is happy with the coach and they believe in the coach and they believe in what's being done in the plan, I think they take a step and say, hey, get in line. He's the boss. He's our coach, and we're sticking to him. And look, you're a salaried employee. You got to do what we tell you. But I think that there was something there that prevented JJ to have more of a footing, or in this decision-making process, or even in everything that happened. And of course, there's a lot of rumors saying that that there wasn't a lot of people that wanted JJ to come back after last season. Obviously, there's a lot of money involved, but I think that it was in the cards. It was in the cards. I think that it was very important that the team made the Champions League because of obviously financial reasons. It was important that the team got a fast start in the league, and the team did that, and JJ did that. So I don't know if you wanted to destabilize the team from the very early on, and they just let JJ run with it, because after all, I think that after everything that happened last season, and then the excuses that came after COVID, obviously those things are valid. Those things are valid, but I don't think that JJ was a consensual choice for a lot of the directive, and even the players. So here we are. And like I said, that press conference, and João Gomes was saying that not even one word about Veríssimo, not even one word to the fans. All right. So it was all about it didn't work out. Sorry. Thank you for everything that you've done. Bye-bye. No questions. And to me, the whole thing just looked odd. I don't think you don't get the feeling that Rui Costa is in control, to be honest with you. It doesn't seem to have a firm foothold on this leadership thing. Obviously, he's inexperienced. You could take that into consideration. But I think that a word, like João Gomes said, about Veríssimo would have been nice, right? But I don't know if it would have been appropriate with JJ at the podium. But also a word to the fans, right? We're gonna continue pushing forward. We're still in 3 competitions. We're gonna keep pushing forward, right? But right now we feel that this is the best route to take. No, nothing like that. And to me, I think that speaks a lot about what this club has become, where they decide and plan all these things on their own without any regard for the fan base, without any regard for the supporters that go and travel kilometers to go watch the team and to spend money to watch the team at different stadiums in the country. I just think that it's disrespectful, to be honest with you. Nonetheless, the biggest thing is that JJ is gone.
I'm in the mood to ask questions tonight, man.
You're gonna ask questions for me, or you're gonna ask questions from
for you, for everybody?
Freddies?
No, me. I just said I'm in the mood to ask questions and appreciate all the Freddies. Send them in, but nobody's actually touched on this because you just said something about Rui Costa and his lack of leadership. And so the question I wanted to pose, and again, I'm not defending it. I'm not praising him. None of the above. I'm just asking a simple question because you and I have the privilege of covering the MLS. and we get to go in locker rooms. We get to go and meet the coaches outside the locker room, meet the coach in his post-game press conference, yada, yada, yada. We get total access to these coaches and general managers. I'm afraid you very well know we see these guys in the hallways, yada, yada, yada. So you just said something regarding Rui Costa. Maybe not being in control, maybe not having this leadership thing down packed yet. And the question I'd like to pose to you is, do you think it's a lack of leadership, a lack of experience in such a role? Or do you think it's just, I don't have to answer to you. Nobody really asks tough questions in Portugal. These guys are shielded from everybody else, everybody with a question. There's absolutely no pressure from reporters or anything like that. That's why I mentioned the MLS, because you've seen what we experience, personally. So my question is, do you think it's, I don't have experience, or I don't have to answer to you. I made my decision, chupe, até logo. When I make up my mind, I'll let you guys know.
I think
I'm asking a serious question. I'm not.
You're right. I think it's a lot of that. And I think that Benfica has been run like that for a while. It's not just now. It's not Rui Costa, but during the Vieira years, he felt like he was the be-all, end-all to Benfica.
Who's that?
Everything, Luis Felipe Vieira, everything that he said was the law. And it went, screw all that noise. Screw everyone that's asking questions. Screw everybody that wants the general assemblies, blah, blah, blah. I'm the boss here, and I run this like a dictatorship. And that's how we have lived Benfica these past years. And now Rui Costa again. And the thing that pisses me off the most is like press conference with no questions. So you, like you said, Cristiano, might as well put out a memo. It's the same fucking thing.
I think the comunicado, the memo would have been, I think would have suited him a lot better, because not only did it look awkward, you can tell JJ was there to get his paycheck. He was there ready to go in on these guys. But he's like, hey, I got a nice paycheck coming my way, so I'm gonna sit here, try to put on my best face and say some positive things. But you could tell he wasn't content. That hug kind of looked like, hey, look, we're not okay.
For the cameras. It's for the cameras.
We're fighting. I can't stand you. We're sleeping in separate beds, but today's Christmas, and we're going to my parents' house, and we got to put a smile together. All right, we're going to lucky me. Yeah. That's kind of like what I just think it was better off like, yo, come out by yourself, say the same thing. Look, we've decided to part ways. Jorge Jesus is no longer with us. Wish him the very best of luck. And I think that would have served them a lot better than what we saw. The whole scene was very awkward. Was terribly. It was like one of those. It was like one of those Soprano scenes when you're getting whacked, but you still got to sit down with the boss, and you're like.
I agree with Danny Pinto, man. He's saying, why was JJ at the press conference and allowed to speak in the first place? Inexperienced by Rui Costa.
I don't think it's inexperience. I don't think it's inexperience at all. You have to remember this one thing about Portuguese football. All these guys live in a bubble that you and I are in preview to. They live in a bubble. They all work together some way, somehow. Agents. There's only one real big agent that runs everything in Portugal. These all guys, they have to be kosher around one another. I think it boils down to a lot of that. I think that's really what it comes down to, is that they're going to have to be around one another. They're going to be in the same circles. Look, I'm not really going to shit on you because, you're not here no more, but you can still go ahead and have a productive career elsewhere. And I think it's that camaraderie amongst guys. In a way, it's good. But obviously, when you're looking at it as a Benfica fan like we are, and we saw that sad example today, you're not pretty happy. But I know a lot of you guys want to put it to inexperience. I'm having a hard time accepting that it was inexperience.
You're having a hard time accepting that it's an experience from a guy who's been a president a total of 3, 4, 5 months?
That guy has been in front of cameras and in the limelight more than anyone else in Portuguese football.
That doesn't mean he has experience in leading men.
He's got experience. He's got the guy. One thing Rui Costa could do is talk. The guy, look, we saw We
He
saw
talks,
when
but he needs papers to talk.
that's no, needs papers. My man absolutely slapped around Benitez when it came down to that debate.
Without
No,
papers.
Benitez had papers, not Rui Costa.
He
I
had some
think
papers.
I think Rui Costa is a well-spoken dude, a smart individual that could put a couple of sentences together. I don't think this was an experience. I think this is a whole thing. But parece que tá tudo bonito when we all know the fucking house is burning. But, you know, we got to make it look like it's pretty, because if we let everybody know that the house is burning, this shit's really going to crumble down, and we're all going to look like assholes. So, epa, beijinho aqui, beijinho ali, pose for the picture, and tá tudo bonito. But deep down inside, this shit is rotten to its core.
Yeah. And look, if I was giving Rui Costa some benefit of the doubt, I think that that benefit of the doubt just got much shorter. And it's not a good look for him. It's not a good look. Think Alma, no.
When Pep Guardiola is our coach in June, bro. Think Alma.
It's not a good look, man. It's not a good look.
No,
it's not a good look, I would say. And I think that he comes out of this not looking too good, especially how the whole situation was handled from everything that's happened in the past couple weeks, right? Because he is the leader of the club. And regardless of whether Luis Felipe Vieira did the same thing when he went to Brazil, as Benfica has to take a stand, right? Especially on the eve of two very important games, two games that one could get you out of the competition, which had happened, and the other one could leave you 7 points from first place. All right. In the eve of these two important games, shouldn't Benfica have come out and really put a foot down and say, hey, this is an important time for the team. This is an important time for the coach. We need to have very peaceful atmosphere around here. Not news on all the papers that he was meeting for coffee, that the agent was here, that somebody was at somebody's house. I thought that right from the get-go, I thought that Benfica should have taken a harder stance on what was going on these past couple of weeks with Flamengo. That's what I think. And I think that Rui Costa, as the leader of Benfica, should have come out, either him or a memo or a comunicado, whatever, and should have set the media straight and should have set things straight. And I think that's where he missed out. So,
look, I think we would have saved a lot of ink and a lot of paper and a lot of trees if they would have just listened to the Benfica podcast last week. I told everybody he wasn't coming back, regardless of how it happened. He wasn't coming back. I mean, the writing was on the wall. I think if you want to criticize Rui Costa for something, I think that's something to criticize because, as I stated, it's been on the wall. We could all see this was coming. Maybe they didn't want the embarrassment of dismissing him after the ass whooping at the start of the lose, to the hands of Sporting. Maybe the humiliation, that was the only thing that stopped them. But at the end of the day, this should have been done weeks ago. I continue to be, I was a huge... Go ahead, Alfred.
But here's what I'll ask you. Had this spat with Pizzi not happened, he's still our coach today.
I don't know. I still
Which
believe,
is the most concerning part of it, really.
Well,
at the
yeah,
end of the
we
day,
haven't even gotten
day,
to that part.
Yeah, at the end of the day, JJ was dead man walking. He was gone either if it was this month or May. He was dead man walking.
Right.
But
that's why I thought
here's the thing.
from the get-go that he wasn't going to survive December.
So here's the other thing, right? Why didn't the club support the coach?
Bro, I think this was something.
Why didn't Rui Costa come out and give a vote of confidence after the Sporting game?
I think this was something that was in the works by both sides. I think Benfica wanted to get rid of him. I think Benfica wanted to see themselves clear of him. I think JJ has his mind set on his Brazilian girlfriend, and he's ready to bounce and go to greener pastures and chill over in the Copacabana. I think this was bound to happen. If it wasn't this, it was going to be something else. Something was bound to happen. JJ, I get it. He's frustrated. The staff didn't back him up. The structure, I should say, didn't back him up. In those terms, he's right. Right.
And then you got the hug.
And then you got the hug, makes it look like it's great.
The structure was backing you up. Here's that hug to prove it.
So look, man, as I was saying before, for you guys that listen to the Benfica podcast and the new guys, the new Freddies that just recently started listening or following me on Twitter, you could tell by my tweets that I've always been a JJ guy. I thought he was going to be the answer to all our prayers. I thought Benfica at the time needed a guy that was going to come in and punch the table and tell Luis Vieira what's going on and how's it, and how it's going to happen. And we're going to straighten out the locker room. We're going to put all our dominoes in place. And it's been the total opposite. I don't think this second stint has worked out at all. So credit to you guys. I said, look, when you return to your ex, it never works out. And in this case, it didn't. With that being said, I think it was time to go. In a way, I'm kind of relieved. I'm just not
But
ecstatic. I'm not happy about the situation because I think Benfica still has a ton of things to play for. They're still in the Taça da Liga, which is in the Final Four. Sounds like I'm talking about March Madness. They're still 4 points, from first place. They could draw this game and still stay there within within a shot. Sporting and Porto play each other in a couple of weeks. I still think there's a lot for grabs here. They still got the Champions League against Ajax, whatever the hell you want to pronounce it. There's still a lot to be played, and I think they should have done a better job in doing their homework. And as I stated before, the writing was on the wall. This is nothing new. It didn't just happen yesterday when they walked into training. Oh my God, we got a problem. No, this shit has been brewing for a while. Rui Costa and his staff should have been doing their homework, preparing for this day to come, and put someone in place that's going to give Benfica a legitimate shot the rest of the season to reach their objectives. Now, if you want to be all boo-ha-ha because, Verissimo was doing well in the second division, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the second division. It is not the first division. Totally different competition, totally different pressure on him. Look, I wish the guy well. My prayers go out to him and his mom. Obviously, his mom passed away this morning. But at the end of the day, JJ being gone, in my eyes, does not solve Benfica's problems. I do think that there are a bunch of players there that are mimados, a bunch of players there that do what the hell they want. Alfredo, we've known this for years. We're told this personally, whatever. No need to get into that. But these guys have been doing what they want. They did it to one coach, they did it to two coaches, and did it to three. Now, the roles are reversed here, right? For some of you guys, I see a lot of you guys celebrating this departure. And I have to admit, I guess, it's my turn to eat it, which when the players set up Rui Vitória, I didn't mind at all because I wasn't a Rui Vitória fan. Now you guys don't mind at all because you're not a JJ fan. But let's just look at the facts. He may be gone, but these problems aren't going away overnight. So that's what really concerns me, is that this culture, this club needs to be turned upside down. We need to get a different mentality in the door. We need to start a winning culture. We need to start getting this, installing it in every player that comes in and out of that freaking door every single day at Seychelles, wherever it may be, under 16, whatever, juniors, Pinguin, whatever the hell you want to call it, right? These guys need that in their DNA to be a Benfica player. And until we get that back, it's going to be very, very hard to establish who we were before and to get back to where we belong, at the top of that porch.
Yeah, Cristiano, I'm going to disagree with you because I know you don't watch enough of the B team to see how Verissimo's teams plays, right? And regardless of whether it's second division or not, regardless of being in first place or not, it's the game style, it's the flow of the game, it's the game idea, it's the game model, how the team plays. It's attractive to see it. The team circulates the ball very well. The team gets numbers into the final third. All of this are admirable qualities that you could watch a coach and see that there's work by a coach there that deserves credit. So regardless of whether you said, well, hold up on Verissimo, he might not be the biggest as white bread, as sliced bread, the biggest invention since sliced bread, but certainly he has proven this season that his teams could play attractive football, right? Regardless of the level of talent, regardless of the level of your opponent. I'll give you the lowdown on
you could disagree. You could disagree all you want. I mean, look,
I'm going to disagree because I know you don't watch enough B team.
That's fine. I mean, I don't care what you do on the B team. I legit don't care.
But you should, because the B team should be a step down from the A team.
When you're going into a game every Sunday, and I've used this with the first team, and I'll use it now with the second team, and you have a roster full of, the best players throughout the country, best Portuguese players throughout the country, and in some cases, the best, estrangeiro players from other countries on your roster, and you're playing against guys that are hanging on to dream to live their dream of being a professional soccer player. You look again, the old Cristiano saying, you got horses running up against burros. So I don't expect for you to have difficulties. That's fine. You're putting a lot in it. And the difference between you and I is
So
I'm not going to disagree with you.
what position did the B
team? Doesn't matter.
What place did the B team come in last year?
Well, listen. Go on.
I'm just saying.
I don't put any weight in it. Elder Cristoval used to do well with those teams as well, and he struggled at times. Nobody ever pumped this guy up to be a first team coach. We all know the fact is that Nelson Veríssimo might be the nicest guy in their locker room, and nobody will ever take credit away from him. But he is a yes man. He's a guy that's there as an interim manager. If he was a fantastic manager, like everyone is making him out to be, he would have been appointed the head coach, not the interim coach until the end of the season. That's my thought, and I'm gonna stick to it. And now, please. I want to hear your stats because I like to learn.
He may very well turn out to be our coach after this season if he does well.
And if that's the case, every single one of those players should get a kick in the ass and booted out of that locker room. Well, because that goes to tell you that they had the ability. They just chose to sack another manager.
I think something needs to happen in terms of the locker room, because as you bring Guardiola to train this team, and trust me, if the inmates are running the asylum, you could bring the best coach in the world. He's not going to be able to do anything if you don't have the team with you. So I think here's another moment for Rui Costa and for Braz and for Luizão. You have to look at the locker room, because it's now 3 coaches that they've made their bed for that the team has made their bed for, and not necessarily the whole team, but we know who the core group of guys are. But certainly it's too much of a Groundhog Day situation here, that anytime things are not going well, Mr. Pizzi is spouting because he lost the feature that he had with Benfica or with the starting team.
I have nightmares, bro.
Those are the guys that we're talking about.
Next time I see these guys on Thursday, I can't look at these guys seriously, man. Put them on the bro.
But
have pity on me.
It's like when you have that going on. I mean, Rui Costa can't be that dumb to not realize that there's cancer in a locker room. And if he is, then it plays right into the part of Vieira was doing all this crap and all this bullshit, and he never knew anything about it. So maybe, after all, he is dumb. Maybe he is dumb. Maybe we're giving him too much credit. I just think that something needs to be done. Now, why do I like Verissimo's appointment? And Hugo had asked me this on our text before we came live. Hugo wasn't too keen about him being appointed to the end of the season. I am. And the reason for that is because, right, there's no uncertainty. You're at work. He's going to work. There's no uncertainty as to when this job is going to finish. And when you have that uncertainty, you're always looking behind your back, and you're never really focused on the task at hand. By giving him this much time, right? First of all, the pressure comes off of him, right? Now he has to lead the team, do your thing, right? So I think that the appointment until the end of the season is the right thing. Let's pretend, and I hope that this is not right, but we lose against Porto. We're 7 points off the top. And we only got 6 more than we could win off of Porto or Sporting in a direct matchup. But it's a very tall order to ask for Benfica to get 7 points back. I know that we've done it a couple seasons ago, right? But you're talking about a Sporting that's been nothing but consistent. You're talking about a Porto that, regardless of the level of talent of their players, is consistent, that have guys that are playing, they're playing out of their minds. And this is going to become very difficult for Benfica to overturn this. And now Porto, basically, they're out of European competition in terms of the Champions League. They're still going to be playing Europa, but still, I see these two teams as being teams that have gotten a lot more consistent than last year. And I think it's going to be a very tall order. So just give Vrisim the room to work, the time to work, let him do his thing, and then we'll see at the end of the year where he's at. I certainly it can't be worse than what it is. And if he could win the locker room, even better. But I just think that locker room needs to talking to from Rui Costa, from Luizão, from whoever they need to be talking to, because it's the third coach in a row that they made their bed and basically they're out. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say in terms of Vrisim. Obviously, the passing of his mom, he was announced today, and I think that Bruno Singer was saying that the mom passed yesterday or maybe was overnight. So I mean, it's tough, man. You get appointed, you understand how critical of a moment it is for the club. You have a parent die, man. And for him to show up at practice, and he could have very well not shown up, and everybody would have understood, right? But for him to show up at practice shows not only the level of commitment that he has to the club, but also to the personality of who he is and how focused he is on getting this job done. I mean, Dave's got a picture up here, and this is this is very. As soon as I saw this picture, man, I thought it was a funny picture. Look at Pizzi and look at Gonçalves, right? And body language experts will tell you that oftentimes when you're being defiant or you're not being receptive to what's being said to you, you cross your arms in front of you. Now, it's not always true, but certainly it's a sign of.
Come on. You're being unfair. So why don't you crack on Diogo Gonçalves then? Diogo Gonçalves.
I'm saying the same thing.
Oh, my bad.
I'm saying the same thing.
Scoop,
look,
scoop.
I could just be overthinking.
I was looking.
But look at the body
in the picture, so I wasn't focused on.
But
what
look
you
at
were
me.
saying.
Listen to me. Look at all the body language of all the players. Arms behind their back. Cristiano, what's the first thing they teach you when you go and talk?
My boy Tarap, respectful right there. Look at that. That's a respectful young man.
What are the first thing they teach you as a player when you go talk to a referee? What is your body language? What should your body posture be like?
Epá, eu era daqueles gajos, hands behind my back.
Estás a brincar, estou-te a perguntar uma pergunta séria e tu estás a brincar com esta merda.
Ele levava cartão amarelo toda a hora. Era mãos atrás, mãos à frente. But yeah, I guess it's a sign of respect. Go ahead. It's a sign of respect, Alfredo.
It is a sign of respect. Is you're being submissive, and you look at that whole crew. And granted, we don't see the whole squad. That whole crew has their hands behind their back.
That goalkeeper or that coach to his left, he had his arms. See,
but he's for this.
I'm
fucking give up, dude.
No, I'm saying
I'm talking about the team. He's talking to the fucking team. He's not talking to the fucking coach. He's talking to the team, bro.
He's looking to the left, Alfredo. All right. But you're right. I mean, it looks like a little. I don't know. I just don't want to. Man, I don't want to shit on the guy. That's all I'm saying.
You don't want to shit on who? Pizzi?
I mean, just for the.
You don't want to shit on Pizzi?
There's plenty.
You don't have enough reasons to shit on Pizzi, bro.
Exactly. There's plenty of reasons to pound on a guy just because he's got his arms crossed. I'm trying to, I don't want to nitpick at everything the guy does now. That's what I'm saying.
Look at everybody's body language and look at Pizzi's body language.
What about that kid next to him? But I'm not saying you're wrong. All I'm saying Diogo Gonçalves doing the same thing, but because he's not known as a cancer, we're not thinking it's a problem. That's why I'm trying to give the benefit of the bro. I don't want to look too much.
But he has a different look to his eyes.
Oh, guys, deve estar a sonhar. He's daydreaming about JJ.
All right. I'm overthinking it, obviously.
Maybe, Alfredo. Maybe I'm just. It look. Dave, stop zooming in, bro. The more you zoom in, the worse it looks. I don't know. Look, PZ Alfredo is obviously not happy. He's getting the full force of the blame on him. Maybe he's not content, man. Maybe the guy's at practice and, he's not happy about the current situation. And again, as I said, we got plenty of things to pound on the guy just because he's got his arms crossed. I don't want to be that guy.
Okay.
Think it is? Ah, okay.
All right. Just in case you forgot.
We gotta get. I think we'll keep that sound effect. Just, I think that's just a precious. So
No,
many
this
pearls.
is not going anywhere. This is
So
not
many
going anywhere.
pearls by JJ that we'll miss. Dave, before we move on to the Porto game,
I
know
just
they-
wanted to
go
say,
ahead.
Alfredo, before you go, just the last thing to touch up on the coaching staff. Bro, I feel that my president was talking about Sport Lisboa Benfica should always give this club the best possible tools, the best possible managers, the best possible opportunity, the best possible chance at winning every single game they play. Verissimo might turn out to shock us all, surprises, just like Bruno Lage did, and I hope that's the case. I'm the type of guy that I enjoy eating crow when I'm wrong and it turns out positive. I'm not enjoying eating the crow now because I was a big JJ guy, and he's obviously, been an absolute waste of time. So I don't enjoy that type of crow, but I enjoy the crow when I say, yo, Alfredo, you suck. And then you go out there and you set a world record, like phenomenal. Like, I love that. I was wrong, but yo, that's what's up. So I hope that in June we're here saying, Nelson Verissimo, credit to you, bro. You're my manager. You did a phenomenal job. But right now on paper, I don't believe that he is the best possible candidate, the best possible coach to take this team to the promised land. As I stated before, there are plenty of things to still play for. I don't think right now Nelson Verissimo is the best option to get you to those 3 points in those dubs.
It's the
Hope
guy.
I'm wrong.
It's a guy that is very well aware of what the team has been doing. He's probably part of some meetings that with JJ at some point in the year. He's a guy that knows the locker room. He knows the dynamics of the locker room. He knows who the players are. He knows who the kingpins are, the ringleaders are. And he's a guy that's very familiar with the club. I think that at short notice, it's probably the best appointment. Now, you could argue that until the end of the season might be a little bit too long, but I've already said why I like that. But here's the thing: what does he bring you? Are we going back to the 4-4-2? Is he going to adapt the system to the players' best potentials in order to take out the most out of the team? We don't know what we're going to expect from Verissimo, but the biggest thing is that he knows that locker room. He was with those players not too long ago. Well, not all of them, but he was with those players, and especially that core group of players that has a lot of pull within the locker room. He knows them, and if he was with Lage, and he certainly was, and he was part of that whole Lage thing, he knows what the players did to Lage because he experienced it firsthand. Now, the thing is that does he have a conversation with Rui Costa and say, look, they need over this team? Have that conversation with Rui Costa.
Alfredo.
From Verissimo.
Okay, he's back. Look, Alfredo, you make valid points, and obviously you're a glass half full kind of guy in this situation. And I'm clearly the negative Nancy on the pod, and I'm the glass half empty. Hopefully, like you said, the guy knows, he's been paying attention, he's been involved in these meetings, and he's gonna have a word. I didn't see JJ have a word in his locker room, have any type of control. Nothing leads me to believe that this guy's gonna have a voice in the locker room. He's there to do que pra fazer. And then, listen, we'll see what happens. If it comes out positive, phenomenal. If it doesn't, we always have the excuse that, we were behind the 8 ball. The whole season was a mess. The previous guy left us in shambles.
But do you think he's going to have more support from the directive than JJ had?
He's going to have all the support. He's going to be doing what they tell him. So, in theory, they're supporting me. It
has to be a two-way street also, right?
Look, Alfredo, I think this is a guy that's homem da casa. And look, he's taking a bullet. They opted not to hire someone for whatever reason, whether they didn't think anyone was worth it, whether they're ultimately waiting for Jose Mourinho at the end of the year. to come by. We shall see. I hope that's not the case, but
Dude, come on.
I'm
bro.
just that's fine. You can say, come on, bro. That's fine. But something, Alfredo, there's a reason. You're shooing me away like JJ was doing to that squirrel. Bye. But at the end of the day,
squirrel, dude. It's an iguana.
whatever. I don't know.
There's
They put
no
a bunch of
squirrels in
memes.
Brazil.
They put a bunch
Squirrel.
of memes.
You're talking about a freaking
Come
lizard
on,
to a
bro.
rodent, bro.
Bro, I saw memes where he was shushing
Himself.
Luis Vieira.
That's
It depends it depends what meme you saw. The one I saw was a squirrel. All right, give me a break. He had a nut in his mouth and everything. But you're shooing me away, right? But at the end of the day, Alfredo, even you cannot, in any of the Freddies listening, and Dave, Superman Dave, none of you guys could tell me with a serious face that Benfica didn't hire a legit, whatever, they didn't hire a coach because they believe that this Nelson Veríssimo was the answer, Alfredo. You're not going to sell that one to me. They didn't hire someone. Okay, so they didn't hire someone, as I said, because maybe they're waiting for someone. And all I said is, could that be Jose Mourinho? That's all I said. They're clearly waiting for someone.
Why Mourinho?
We shall see. In time will tell. I hope that's not the case. But
Mourinho was a love from Luis Felipe Vieira.
This is not a.
Listen to me. To me, Mourinho is nothing to me.
Okay.
And I don't rate him as a coach anymore. To be honest with you, Mourinho is past his prime, way past his prime.
I don't want to talk about Mourinho because this is a Benfica podcast. But to burst your bubble, real quick, you felt the same way about JJ, and they didn't care about what you thought. They still brought him in. But whatever, we'll see what happens. Look, I just think Benfica could have done a better job in appointing someone like Luis Campos. I would have been okay with that guy taking over the next 6 months.
Do you think that if it was up to Rui Costa, they would have brought JJ back? Or do you think that JJ?
No.
Listen. Or do you think JJ and the tremendous investment that Luis Felipe Vieira had on the team was something for the elections?
No, I believe that they thought. Look, I think all the things you said fit into one. I think it was a combination of all those things. I think obviously election. I think look, man. Say what you want. You might not. Obviously, they should have listened to you. But I thought he was the answer to all our problems, right? And apparently they thought that as well. I don't think it was just about elections. I think it was about a guy that had left. Look, say what you want. In the last Alfredo, since 1993-94 under Tony, okay, this is a fact that many could like, dislike, and that's fine. Look, we're free to do what we want. But the facts are, guys, look at them the whichever way you want. Benfica, the best Benfica you saw. The best Benfica you saw play. The best Benfica you saw in terms of consistency and even in titles to a certain extent. Not to a certain extent, to a fact. Since 93-94 was under JJ. You want to call it, yeah, fantastic rosters. Do what you want to do. I've never seen Pep Guardiola win anything with Granada, right? He's always had the best roster, and they're still praising the hell out of him. It is what it is. He was there. He was the coach. He's the one getting these guys together, getting them to play at a certain level. The best Benfica you've seen in the last 30 years almost was under Jorge Jesus. And I think that they've all, the coach, not the coaching staff, but the guys upstairs, all were drinking that Kool-Aid just like I drank it. Look, it helps us when it comes to the elections. It helps us on the field. It doesn't matter if it's good. At the end of the day, the dictator, you just spent 20 minutes before talking about how Benfica's been under a dictatorship and it's not consensual. When dictatorships, the consensual doesn't have anything to do with it. It's about what he thinks. And our great leader thought that this was a great decision. He was the guy that's seeing lights. Look, and he thought it was a good idea. So I think it was a combination of all those things, Alfredo. To answer your question directly, I think it was a combination.
Dave, you want to throw up that
goal point
stats so we could move on from JJ? I'm done talking about JJ. I didn't want him to come. I'm glad he's gone. You credit.
You called it right, bro.
It's a year too late for me.
Yeah, but they couldn't get rid of him last year, Alfredo. You know what I mean? After all the bullshit.
I understand they should have never brought him.
Okay, that's a fight you could fight. But as far as last year, they couldn't turn their back on him. And even you, as much as you dislike the guy, look, he's lost what? One game in the season, tied two games in the season, right? Tied a game. His domestic record isn't terrible, but when it comes to the terms that we want, the fact that we want this club, beating our biggest rivals, yeah, it hasn't been good.
So here's the goal point graph that shows the percentage of wins and points per game, as well as what his average was in terms of conquests and doing well. So clearly a guy on the definitely not done as better this time around than the first time around, and that first year obviously was staggering. I think that 2013-2014 season, that's when the Champions League was being held at Stade de Luz, the final, I think. And there was a huge investment also. That's when we had Garay. There was a huge investment from Orelhas as a pipe dream to make it to the Champions League final in our stadium. But certainly not and I remember saying this to you, Chris. I know what JJ represents and I know what he could bring, but it's not guaranteed that he's going to have the same level of success that he had his first time around. And I'm not just saying that to say I told you so. But,
no, but you're right. Look, I have no problem admitting it, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I was wrong, and I'll pick myself up, and I'll probably be wrong again tomorrow. But sooner I guess I'm right. So you guys were right on this one. It is what it is. Look, JJ, you guys saw between the lines. I obviously didn't. I thought he was going to take this team to the next level. We were all tired of the circus under Orelhas, and we figured this guy was the only guy that had the audacity to sit there, look at him square in the face, and say, nah, man, no es así. We're going to do things my way. Now, we'll never know. I'm pretty sure in 10 years or so, there'll be a book. There'll be a special interview on Sam TV, and JJ will reveal what his thoughts are and his reasonings. And, some of them will be true. Some will be, BS, made up. It is what it is. And so we'll take our truths from that. I just find it that when you support someone, when you like someone, you believe any of the bullshit that comes out. When you dislike someone, you believe all the bullshit that comes out. And I think we have to be smarter, right? In reading in between the lines. And rather than just say, well, the guy's a terrible manager, it's been a horrific spell, which it has. It doesn't make the guy a terrible manager. I mean, the guy's had success throughout his career. Just this time it didn't work out. But to sit there and pile on and take a victory lap today, I was offended by that. I saw a lot of people celebrating as if today Benfica won something. Yeah, you don't like the coach. That's fine. I didn't like Rui Vitória, but every single week I came here on this podcast and say, yo, we won another game. Arrasca, but we won. Go.
To be honest with you, I think I was more happy when I heard about the fact that he told Pizzi he was no longer going to play under him than I was when he got sacked, because I think that the sack was something that we saw coming a mile away. The Pizzi thing, however, was like, oh, okay, here we go. That's the JJ that I know. Not take shit from any players. Don't let any players, run the locker room. So I was a lot more excited and happy to hear that than of his firing.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you think for a second, though, Alfredo. Doesn't make you think that the first time that he does something that the so-called JJ non-supporters agree with, he got the boot. So maybe he wasn't allowed to do what he wanted to do. So it should just make you sit back and say, maybe things aren't as rosy as we think they are. He did what we all wanted, what we all, regardless of whether you supported him or against him, we all agreed that this was something that should have been done after Lage. And so finally it's been done and he gets canned. That leads me to believe that, bro, regardless of who comes in, you don't have the final voice. If you could fire a guy that's making a reported $6 million a year, what can you do to a Nelson Veríssimo? Let's make it $200K a year. Bro, they're going to dump out. Like, yo, here's my keys. Go park my car. Come on, dude.
Yeah. No, look, there needs to be a change in the locker room. And I think maybe this is a wake-up call.
It's not just locker room.
For
upstairs. Because upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Look, say what you want. I don't know the guy. And look, I love Rui Pedro Braz. You know why, guys? I'm going to tell you why. Because
he gave you the skinny on the transfers on TVE.
Shut up. I don't know the guy from a hole in the wall, but I like the guy for one reason. Due to the fact that if a guy could come off a TV screen, right? A TV, whatever the hell you want to call it, set, and be the sporting director, whatever, have this powerful position at Benfica, it leaves my flame lit, bro. Dave, there's a chance I could go from there's a chance I could one day work for Benfica. So thank you, Pedro Braz. It's kind of like he's the first trailblazer. So phenomenal. I'm excited. But bro, should the guy have a voice in the locker room at that moment after a game when we know things are going to be heated? Should he be in a locker room with the coaching staff? That Alfredo, you played, we played.
Well, he's on the bench.
That I don't care about the bench. This is sacred ground.
Yeah, but if he's on the bench, he's in the locker room, bro.
Well, maybe he shouldn't be. Walk the other way. I don't know what to tell you, bro. After a game, it's players and coaching staff. E massagistas. That's it, and you know that. So why is someone in the locker room, right, making a coach a bitch? I mean, aqui Manuel. Oh, Peasy, fala. Come on, dude. I mean, come on, dude. I mean,
look, there's a lot of things that are wrong. We obviously don't know the whole story, and there's always three sides to every story, right? We know what's come out in the media, and we know that sometimes that could be manipulated, but we don't know. We don't know everything. We got bits and pieces of information that either the media put together or you make up your mind about it. We don't have 100% of the truth. We don't know. We don't know what happens. Unless you're a fly on the wall or you're being given information straight from a player's mouth, we don't know. But certainly there's a lot of things that are wrong with Benfica. And here's the other way you could look at it, right? Understanding that there's a cancer in the locker room, right? Do you bring the coach that you want now without cleaning that locker room first?
No. No, I don't mean no. I mean, bro, if you think X, B, Y, Z, whatever the word, if you think whatever coach is the right choice, you appoint him and you let him determine what goes on. At the end of the day, you have to put it on the coach. As I just mentioned about Rui Pedro Braz, don't go in the locker room. You don't butt in. That is the coach's circle. You let the coach make the decisions. So if a new coach comes in and he says, look, I like Peasy, and Peasy, tu vais jogar comigo? Look, this is the only way you play. And Peasy abides by it, phenomenal. But if he doesn't and he wants to get rid of him, the hierarchy, people have to follow him and back him up. Not tell his assistants, shh, Galadin, follow. Come on, bro.
Did Thiago Pinto have access to the locker room?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? You were with the team. You know whether he had access to the locker room or not.
Preseason.
But you'd assume you'd have that during the season also, right?
For Christ's sake, I had access to the locker room. I mean, the fuck that preseason.
But papaña cuecas, I'm not talking about the guys that papaña cuecas.
That, bro. I used to pick up shin guards,
no,
bro.
But I'm saying he took over. He took over for Thiago Pinto, and certainly Thiago Pinto had access to the locker room. So why shouldn't he have access to the locker room? Anyway, I'm done talking about this. Let's turn our attention to something a little brighter.
Last thing, and I just want to finish it with this. I
love you, Jesus. I love you, Jesus.
That's it.
We're gonna have to scrap some of those JJ sound clips and add "It Is What It Is" on there.
The take it easy. The take it easy stays. I like the take it easy.
Yeah.
I like the take it easy. That I love you, Jesus. I don't know that's a classic one.
In honor of his farewell, since we're on the subject, might as well wear these out. We're not gonna play these anymore. So, but go ahead.
Yeah. So turning our attention now to the Porto game, which now seems to have lost a lot of importance after today's news, right? Benfica traveled up to the Dragão to play Porto in the Portuguese Cup. I'll give you the lineup and then we could discuss. Helton, Almeida, Otamendi, Vertonghen, Gilberto and Grimaldo, Weigl, João Mário Tarap, Rafa, and Darwin. Here's I guess we could start with the goalie. Right, and I think there was a talking point last week when we were previewing the game. Does Helton start, or do you go with the guy that you feel is your strongest goalkeeper? And as we know, it's customary that the second keeper gets cup games, whether it's League Cup, whether it's Portuguese Cup. It's customary. It's almost an unwritten rule, if you will. But there's people that saying that they put a lot of blame on Helton for at least 1 or 2 goals in that game. So should have Helton gotten the start? Chris.
Yes, and we had this conversation at nauseum because our friend Hugo keeps. I mean, he talk about a freaking tick right in between the key and the pernas, bro. Just doesn't stop, bro. Look, I understand.
Hugo the tick.
I understand. Hold on, let me change his name on my phone. I understand the whole, when you go to the Dragon, you play your best team, yada yada yada. But look, I'm an old school traditionalist guy. Comes to baseball, every other sport, I don't deal well with change. Traditions are traditions. Backup goalies have, for the most part, played in a Taça Portugal, Taça Cerveja. I mean, these guys got to get some minutes at some point. And so, look, I'm not a huge critic of JJ's decision or John God's decision to play him at goalkeeper that day. Whoever the hell wants to take credit or shine away from taking the credit for actually playing him. Porto did the same exact thing. They played their backup goalkeeper. That worked out just fine. I think a team Benfica stature should have two goalkeepers that are interchangeable and could play any game, any day, whenever called upon. So I legit have no problem at all.
Yeah, I don't think I have a
now, whether they played well or not, that's another conversation.
Yeah, that's
you
asking
me. Yeah.
I don't have a problem in the choice either. The thing is that if he's getting the vote of confidence, obviously the coach feels that he's gonna go in and he's gonna do his best, and his best is good enough for the coach. Sometimes, and if Elton had a massive game where he saved 3-4 goals, we would have been having a conversation. But he had a few things. A few plays that were borderline amateurish, if you will, and it didn't work out well. But let's talk about even 30 seconds into the game, you're already down 1-0. 10 minutes in the game, you're down 2-0, and it's the approach, right? It's that approach that us as fans we sit here. Before every game at the Dragon, we gotta go win with our knife on our teeth. We gotta kick these guys where it hurts. We gotta take it to them, and then the team just goes in and just has a different approach.
But I'm afraid you just said it all. You said it all when you started. I mean, was that really the approach? What freaking approach?
No,
It's 30 seconds in.
Approach.
There was no approach.
No approach.
It was like you come in with a plan, and before you step on the field, the plan out the window. Like, I guess that was that.
I think when players first arrive at the stadium and they walk onto the pitch just to see what the grass is like, so they could decide on what shoes to wear. It just felt like that.
It was like, oh, guys, hold on. Just a matter that sério. But,
já começou.
Yeah, let's restart. I wasn't ready, bro. Let's restart this again because
já começou.
That was just a rally.
I wasn't paying attention.
And I think that really, look, obviously we know the horror stories of Benfica going to the Ladrão. This is well documented. Check out what's it called, Alfredo? Patrimonios y Patrimonios. What's it called?
Vitórias e Patrimónios.
Vitórias y Patrimónios. Those things are well documented throughout the years. You have this toxic atmosphere, crazy amount of pressure, and this noise around the players. Say what you want. It's the game that the players circle. The schedule comes out, they run to check when they play that game. In the reverse game, also at the Estádio da Luz. Those are the games you want to play in. And so there's the noise with the coach. So much you have an opportunity to knock out your rival from another competition. All this is at stake, and then before you blink, it's 1-0. Like, what the the pressure just it went from 10 to 20. And before you know, everything's just discombobulated. It took a team a while to get their feet. Just when they start 2-0, like it's just look, dude, it was just one of those days that Benfica's just not prepared for this, man. It goes to show you how fragile mentally these guys are, and the coaching staff and the structure. And again, as I mentioned earlier on the podcast, there's a culture that needs to be established. And, the fact of the matter is, when you look at that starting 11, and even excluding the starting 11, you look at Benfica's best 11, whichever way you want to dig it, you have realistically three, and I'll throw in Verissimo. Verissimo is hurt. But currently, right now, you have three players on this Benfica team that would play on this Porto team because they got what they takes. They got Otamendi, Darwin, and Gilberto. The rest of the guys on Benfica, Porto discard them to the B team. I mean, they probably put them, playing beach soccer or whatever it is. These guys want it more. And to me, the one thing I was already convinced, but the one thing that really convinced me, made up my mind about this, and Alfredo, when I could be pretty stubborn. When they score the second goal, Helton comes out, punches it. Look, technically, he did the right thing. He punched it to the side, right? He mishit it, but he still did the right thing, right? The execution wasn't perfect, but it was still the right play. Punch it to the side. Credit to them. Vitinha gets to it. Right foot. I mean, I don't know what the hell Otamendi. I mean, I can't jump for shit, but Otamendi, I mean, dude, it's amazing. He couldn't get off his feet, but whatever. Nonetheless, Vitinha, 20-year-old youngster, gets his goal, the biggest goal of his career against the biggest rival, and the guy runs to the sideline. And if you guys have the opportunity to record the game, go on YouTube, and he goes to the side, and everybody's jumping on him, and he's celebrating, and this dude's foaming out there. He's possessed, bro. That's what it's going to take for Benfica to match these guys. Benfica needs that intensity in order to compete with these guys. Whether Benfica is the better team or not on paper, until you bring that heat, these are the results we're going to get. Alfredo, you and I sat here on the podcast. I will nenever forget this during Casillas' years at Porto, where Porto was struggling and Benfica was on a high, and they go to Stadio da Luz, and we're all sitting on the podcast. I think Steve was still around. And we're like, yo, predictions, up 3-0, easy, baba. And they beat us because they wanted it more. They were in a terrible run. Benfica was flying at all, flying around and still the results was the same. These guys want this, man. And Benfica needs to match that intensity.
Every time.
Every single time. And until that happens, unless you have a bunch of adult traps on the field, then you're just going to be a lot better than everybody else. 11 of them.
Deixa de brincar com o Tarap.
No, but unless you have, I love Trap. What are you going to do? Unless you have, a team full of Galácticos, right? Where they're just so much better than these guys that no matter the intensity, they're going to slap you around. Unless Benfica puts a team together like that, it's going to take that type of intensity, that type of attitude to go and eat these guys and challenge, face these guys, face to face. We'll see if it happens on Thursday. I want to see it. I really do want to see it. But at the same time, guys, I got to be brutally honest. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Because if I don't see it, that, again, it solidifies the fact that they laid down to screw another coach. So I don't know what's worse. Guys, I'm gonna pass it over to you guys.
We'll get into that in a little bit. At the 31st minute, 3-0. Then right before the half, Porto goes down to 10 men, and even playing against 10 men in the second half, we were powerless. We couldn't do much, and even Porto never looked in danger. To be honest with you, and look, you can make it an argument for the Darwin goal, 4 centimeters offside, and if he scores, the game is 2-1, and maybe the game takes a different direction. But look, I think that whether that goal goes in or not, I think that Benfica was just powerless. We just don't have the teeth. We're like the babies trying to bite a finger with no teeth. We're just gumming the shit out of things as we're biting. There's no teeth. We can't make a mark. And it's a shame. It's a shame because all of us we give the team the recipe every single time. What happens to the team? What happens to those players? Last year was the first time that I've ever seen in Gonçalves. Michael Gonçalves was saying about the game last year when we played against Porto. That was the only time in recent years that I've seen Benfica match up Porto's intensity, and we took the intensity to them, and the game was completely different. So I don't understand. There has to be a switch when you go in as a player out of that tunnel, and they're saying SLB feeds the puta SLB. That should be enough for you to just go absolutely berserk on this team. But of course that doesn't happen. Instead, we just cower and we whimper and we pussy out.
The worst part about this whole thing, Alfredo, I saw this stat after the game last week, and I was too frustrated to even try to memorize it. But it was something along the lines: Porto's played 300 or 400 minutes down a man in the last 3 or 4 games against Benfica, and they've outscored us like 4-1, 5-1, whatever it is. Like it seems like same thing in the Supertaça. Porto went down a man and they just whooped our ass after that. It's as if, we've always said Benfica when they play Porto, they play against 14. I guess it must be true because they subtract the guy. They're still playing. It seems like they're playing against 13. I don't know.
Yeah.
We play worse.
Yeah, I mean, look. Wasn't there a Mimo Conceição saying that if we played against 10 men, we would beat you? I forget who that was against. Was it another Tondela or something? The team that they played, and was against Farense. With Paul Sergio. He had an argument with Paul Sergio, and it was something like that. But it's just it just shows how powerless we are at the Dragão. That even playing against 10 men, we can put together enough to be able to beat.
They're saying Braga. They're saying Braga. The guys.
Was Braga?
Freddy's. Yeah.
Yeah. Joaquim Carapinha.
He said to Carvalho.
What's happening? Hello, all the Freddies. I know that you guys are quite a few today, and big shout out to all you guys that have come in while we're been engaged here. Raining Entertainment, as always. I saw that the gentleman that was in Corroios, Wolford. He was here earlier. I don't know if he's still here.
Yeah, he was here.
Yeah, but anyway, so not even in. I really don't feel like we should spend much more time on this game. It was an embarrassing loss.
And it didn't get worse because I don't know.
It was embarrassing. We lost Darwin. We lost Otamendi. And Grimaldo's not going to be able to play either because he has COVID.
Wait, Grimaldo played last week?
I don't know who played, to be honest with you.
Okay.
The only guy that was playing.
There he goes. The minute he goes to praise my guy, he freezes up. It's got to be my guy. And he froze up. Look, he can't say the guy's name. He can't. Look, his internet doesn't agree with him. Oh, look. See how, Dave, I was right. He goes to talking.
The best Benfica player on the field in the first half was Tarap
and Gabriel, and they both subbed off at halftime.
I can't. For as bad as Benfica played, Tarap was the one highlight. Seemed like he was the only guy who wanted to push the ball forward. So embarrassing loss. We're out of the Portuguese Cup. We haven't won the Portuguese Cup since last century. It seems like that at least. but certainly, look. There's losses in losses at the Dragão, right? There's a loss where you feel that you gave it your all and they were just much better, but this Porto team is not better than our team. But again, poorly motivated, and as we mentioned, the coach doesn't need to motivate players for these games like this. Poorly prepared. I like the fact that he went with 3 guys in the midfield. But still, I mean, there was Rafa didn't do much. There was guys that were just neutralized. So I think that there's nothing that you could say. You can make an argument for the refereeing, but I don't even think that the refereeing had that much of a bearing in the game.
I don't want to cry about it because, look, you could have called a penalty.
We've been robbed worse.
Yeah, you could have called a penalty on Otamendi on a push-off on Luis Diaz. I thought their second yellow card for the red card in the first half was a little harsh, but whatever, Look, we take it. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter. Benfica could have played like against 7 like they did against Belenenses. They wouldn't have won that game. It was just Porto wanted it more. They created the better chances. Even if Benfica had, those 2 goals that counted, I just still think Porto would have found a way to it's one of those days, man. It unfortunately, the sad thing is that this happens on a consistent basis when we go up there, with the exception of, a victory every 5 years or so. Dave gave us a stat earlier. Benfica's what? 2-5 in the 2-5. Oh, yeah, right. 0-2. 0 victories, 2 draws, and 5 losses over the last 7 matchups with Foco do Porto. And a lot of those have been with red cards for the opposition. And so I don't, bro.
Yeah, so now we get to go up there again on Thursday, 9 p.m. local. So as I mentioned, no Otamendi, no Grimaldo, no Darwin. Darwin base. Freaking Siri. What's a part of the
Siri doesn't
podcast?
understand what's going on with Benfica.
That she
either.
doesn't understand what that's going on, but yeah, we get to do it again. No Darwin, no Otamendi, no Grimmy, as I mentioned. But here's the thing, dude. And I know that it's already been said, Cristiano, that if the team shows something else, then shame on them for running the locker room the way they do and pushing the coach out the way they've done in the past couple coaches. But certainly, if there's an ounce of pride in these players, you got to get up for this game, man. And I'm not gonna sit here and we got to go in from the start. We gotta kill them, because we always say that, and then we're more hyped up than the team when we get so disappointed. We
know how we
so
got
let
these-
down, depressed.
You know, how we got these pre-recording gadgets here. We're gonna pre-record. We're gonna go back, Alfredo, and cut up the audio from previous games. And there's when it comes time, we hit a button simple as that and just play it over and over, because it's the same thing. We need. Yeah, we need. They should have some pride. No shit. You know what I mean? But then chega o jogo e borram todos.
Yeah, it's just it's a shame. It's a shame, but
Did we
it goes
did
a
we do
lot deeper than
predictions?
the coach.
Did
Yeah,
do
we did
last
predictions. I'll
year?
give you.
Bora,
I'll-
bora aí,
I'll give you right now. Chris, you said 2-1 for Benfica.
I was close.
Dave,
It
it was
close.
you got 3 goals at least. Dave said
at that.
2-0 Porto, and I said
Oh,
2-1 Porto.
Damn.
But it's just
So the only wait.
and it's
so
like
wait.
a lot of people criticize me. Oh, you're not a
In-
Benfiquista because you're predicting a win for Porto.
in total Benfica fashion, they shit on the only Benfiquista that supported them. They let them down. Look at that. Look at that. You support them, this is what happens. They shit on you. Epa, that's a lesson. It's a lesson going forward. That was it, right? I think that was the only prediction.
those were the predictions. You guys, Freddy's. What were your predictions for the game? I got to be honest with you. I'm a lot more positive about this game coming up
Sim, I
than
could
the
tell.
one at Taça.
Yeah, you drank the Verissimo Kool-Aid before you came. I think you got the Cartilla today. I don't know.
Nah, I just think it's one of the. I think that the players, there has to be a level of pride that the players have to tap into.
Hugo's drunk.
Que é que o Hugo diz?
We said 2-0 Benfica. Oh, Porto.
Oh,
no,
two.
we said 2-0
Oh.
Benfica. That's Benfica. 2-0.
No. Oh yeah, 2-0 Benfica. Yeah, I'm with. Let's run some of these results. So Hugo 2-0 for Benfica. Saucy 3-0 Porto again. Joaquim Carapinha 2-0 for Porto.
Hugo
Bruno
Reis is a clown.
0-0. Davy Hand 2-0 Blue or 0-0 tie.
That's
what
two
else?
predictions. That's cheating. Wait. Hold on. How does it go? Not allowed. Not allowed.
And Diogo Reis, Fenu Power is like the weather outside, -3. Nelson Carvalho 1-1. Reigning Entertainment 2-1. Gomes 1989.
Hey, João, that's my
1-2.
brother, João Gomes, right there.
And SLB EES 2-1. for
Joãozinho.
SLB.
Yeah, you know, Alfredo, you know Joãozinho in our group. He's usually the optimistic one. So,
It really is.
not really surprised here. Who
Okay.
else? What, 2-1 penalty for Porto to win it. Haven't had one of those in a while. But
So what
I'm
are,
not
what are the
confident, to be
predictions?
honest. Oba, who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'm going to say a 1-1.
You took it from me.
You're going 1-1 too, Dave.
Yeah. And that's considered a strong result in our favor. That's what we're stooping to, is a 1-1 draw is a good result in our favor here. But I think
Chris.
that's the best considering that we've got those three players, three of our starters out for this match here.
You go to the Dragão, you beat Porto with Verissimo at the helm. You said Benfiquista is on fire.
Yeah.
Chris, you gonna be a realist or you gonna be?
I was being real last time when I said
You
Benfica was
were?
going to win 2-1.
This.
For this,
I was.
maybe you
I-
were
And
drinking.
yeah, and you posted those on Twitter, and yeah, I agree with Alfredo. Everyone's calling us questioning
no,
our
so-
Benfiquista.
You're not Benfiquistas.
Yeah,
We always win.
sorry for being realist and not drinking the Kool-Aid, but
Yeah. I think there's going to be goals scored in this game. It's going to be like 3 or more goals scored in this game.
Breaking news: there was 3 goals scored in the last game.
No, I
too.
know, but I actually see more goals being scored this game.
Diogo Reis, I see. All kidding aside, I see guys come out for Verissimo. 3-1 for Benfica. Foda-se.
I was going with the 3
Valente.
at the risk of getting barraged tomorrow by Hugo. 3-1 Porto.
Epa.
Mhm.
Shit, we all switched sides then.
And
Last week-
maybe I'm being too optimistic about the one for Benfica because
No Darwin.
wow, coitado, can't beat up on Monks this time.
Did
Yo, listen.
anybody check
Here's-
Fabio Cardozo's studs?
Here's
That's
the question.
a really bad cut,
That-
man, for step on.
Hey, Fabio Cardozo would have been a good signing, like I said at the beginning of the season.
Ah,
December
but este
started.
gajo.
Hey, better than Andre Almeida. You guys can keep shitting on Cardozo all day. Better than Andre Almeida. What's I gonna say? Look, here's the real pertinent question. The real important things to talk about. Right? We just obviously went over the predictions. Does Pizza, does he start on Thursday? That's the $1 million question. And if he does, I'll jump in. If he does start, my man better be the player of the game. He better be in the stands serving drinks. He better be in the bathroom handing out towels. He better be everywhere. He better be everywhere.
Man, era fixe que se ele não fosse convocado. That's what I would like.
But then it's all for nothing then to get rid of the coach.
But you just
So you- to
give
you-
more power to the guy who started this whole thing by starting him.
You were stealing my thought. He called me today. I told him that. He's trying to sound smart. Listen, I'm just saying. The other question: does he go to a 4-4-2, 4-4-3-3, 4-2-3-1? Does he stick to this 3-4-3, 3-5-2? What you guys think?
I think that he's going to go to four in the back.
I do too, but the only hesitation I have is you got the 2 guys are going to play in the middle. Going to be 2 lefties. That's the only hesitation I have.
It's not.
You know.
It's not. I don't think it's going to matter.
Okay. Well,
I don't think it's
it
gonna
mattered
matter.
for JJ.
Hey, you never know. He might
Yeah.
put Tomás Araújo instead of Murato.
Who's
What
gonna
did
be
I
our
say?
starting left
3-1,
back?
4-1. Dave's going up, buddy. Out.
Gil Dias.
Gil Dias.
I think Andre Almeida play on the left. Maybe I'm going to tell you.
He's got the power.
That would just be typical Benfica, man.
What do you want me to tell you? Do you honestly think they're gonna play a guy that was specifically brought in for JJ and Gil Diaz? I don't think they're gonna play him.
Yeah, I'm not too
I
big
don't-
on Gil Diaz, to be honest with you.
Come on, that's my hometown. Don't crack on him.
But
Uh,
he's got wheels. I don't know about defending.
I think Jesus. If PZ starts on Thursday, I will not watch another single game for the rest of the year. I
Yeah,
think he's starting, bro.
I'm considering not watching the game if
Look.
PT's starting.
And I'm saying I think he's starting because there's no Darwin. I think they're probably gonna play a 4-4-2 or 4-3-3. Alfredo, because you're
Bruno,
because
that's a
you're
good
such-
shout.
What?
Paul Bernard in the middle. That's a good shout. Paul Bernard, João Mario, and Weigl.
Estão malucos. Listen, since you got the scoop on Verissimo, what formation does he play on the B team?
4.
For what? 4?
4-4-2.
Oh, 4-4-2. Okay.
He plays 4 or 4-3-3.
He's trying to say.
I know he plays 4.
They're saying
he plays
they're saying
4-4-2.
No, they're saying 4-3-3 in the chat.
Yeah.
So I
Benfica
don't know.
American 4-3-3.
So
Yeah,
if he plays a
João-
4-3-3, that's what I'm saying. So you might have PZ, Rafa, and Yarmchuk up top. Why you laughing?
Foda-se, não me faças isso, caralho.
Pá, se o PZ não joga,
If
Pá,
Pichi
desliga-
plays, man, I swear I'm not watching the game.
But look, I'll be watching the game, but I'll be like him with my arms crossed.
Yeah, I don't.
So now they're saying they never played 4-3-3. I'm confused.
Who else is not watching? Who else is not watching the game if Pizzi's started?
Vocês são os mentirosos, caralho. You'll all be there. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
No, I think I think I know they play in either 4-4-2 or 4-3-3, and
Bro, PZ has to play, bro.
PT has to play. You say?
Dave, after all this he's Dave, come on. You tell me all this nonsense for the guy not to play. He has to play. And he's gonna get a standing ovation from the no-name boys up there.
Fellas.
But yo, Dave, what are you guys?
That's gonna be Pizzi as Verissimo is giving the lineup, the starting 11.
Aí, guys. Meites and Muscle. Football do you watch? Tá bem, epá, esta malta. O Meite, se o Meite não joga agora, não é desta. Tá lixado. Tá lixado. Não é, se não joga.
João Ricardo Oreia says 4-3-3. I believe 4-3-3. I know that's for back. 4-man back.
Yeah, so it'll be
bitch.
It'll be Gilberto on the right, Morato Vertonghen on the left, André Almeida, Weigl, João Mario. I'd put Maite in there just to fuck someone up. Just voila. No. You don't want to see that in the game.
Yeah. Joaquim Carapinha says all Benfica formation is 4-3-3. That's great. The whole formation plays 4-3-3, and then you get to the senior team is 3.
Vocês são canalha, pá. Dave, any reason to pour salt in the wound? Pá, vocês quando não gostam de gajo. Does a lot play left side too? Lázaro plays wherever you play him. But,
yeah, Lázaro will play where you put him.
Yeah, but look, the guys vai titular para o banco de um dia para o outro. I don't know, man. We'll see. Yeah, but look, Lázaro will probably play on the left side. But I'm just trying.
If he's healthy, I think that he'll
How many times we've all come on here over the years, Alfredo? We've been doing this for a while. And André Almeida's not playing. No way he's playing. He starts.
I'm with
I
you.
I gave up.
I'm with you, João Ricardo. No Pizzi and Almeida. Those two could fuck off for all I care. For the rest of their lives. If I didn't have to see him in a Benfica jersey, I'd be happy. As a matter of fact, I will take a 5th place finish by Benfica if that guarantee me that both Pizzi and André Almeida wouldn't ever wear a Benfica jersey ever again.
A malta tem razão when they say you're not Benfiquista, bro. I back them up.
That's how bad I dislike those two guys. But anyway. Gomes, 1989. Tomorrow half the team has COVID.
Gomes, Joãozinho always knows he's got a scoop. So I don't know if he's joking or he's trying to let us know. Joãozinho always got a scoop.
He does have a scoop. I got to be honest. It's good. You're just browning up to him because you want that the Verstappen helmet.
Now that's my boy, bro. You know, Joãozinho, I got nothing but love. I got nothing but love for all the Freddies. But Joãozinho's my guy. He's my guy. Picks me
anyway.
Up. You know, we do good together.
That is all. That is all we got this week. It's been a fun-filled day of Benfica content from all kinds of platforms except Benfica, right? So Benfica Independent add their forum. Benfica After 90. Benfica After 90 was on. Also, I was watching those guys for a bit. We're on now. Lots of Benfica talk. Let's hope that this is the start of a good thing. Obviously, my choice for a coach is someone other than Verissimo, but I think his appointment right now makes the most sense to me, at least. So let's hope for the best at the Dragão, right? Let's not go too hype into that, and hopefully we can pull out a result. What are you guys thinking? It's good enough? Hour and 28 minutes?
Thinking I gotta wake up early tomorrow. Got some darts to watch. Our boy José de Souza's got a match early tomorrow morning.
What time?
7:30 Eastern.
7:30.
Eastern Standard Time over here. For
He's throwing darts at 7:30. He's over in England, right?
he's over in England, so it's 7:30 our time.
What is it? Some kind of a championship?
It's the World Championship 20. It's their big tournament of the year. There,
We should get that guy on our podcast.
we should figure out where his loyalty lies first.
Epá,
shows-
Chico
é, Benfica
Marcelino. I would love, esquece, estás maluco. Chico,
Gasparini.
eu ia buscá-lo,
this-
Estás maluco?
Yeah.
Isso era
Gasparino. I think Gasparino and Gallardo are
Gasperini.
probably Gasparini.
Yeah,
and
but he ain't
Gallardo.
leaving, dude. He ain't
are
leaving. He had
probably-
Juventus, he had Milan, he had big bucks thrown on. He wouldn't budge.
He's got a good thing going over there in
Yeah.
Atlanta. I think you will eventually take a step when he feels is right, but I think he's got a good thing, man. The team, the directive likes him, the city likes him, the players like him. He's playing well. Look, Singer, Paulo Fonseca is one of my guys. Paulo Fonseca, Jardim, Gallardo, and Renato Paiva are the 4 guys on my list. So, Renato Paiva was on Canal 11 today. There was an interview, so if you want to catch that. I sent the clip to Chris and Hugo about his the process that he went through to be chosen as the coach for a team that supposedly plays in third world football. 2-month process, several interviews by a psychologist, interviews by the presidents, interviews by the sporting director, the whole yard. If you have a chance, check that out. That there's actually a clip on Twitter going around. Anyway, Cristiano, pronto.
Happy New Year, fellas.
That's
Thank
right,
you
man.
guys
Happy
very
New
much
Year.
for listening.
2022 is right around the corner.
Next
Yeah.
time we talk, it'll be 2022. Appreciate the support and the love. Stay safe. Hopefully
safe.
you guys and the family are doing well. Rest in peace to our brother from Massachusetts and
That's right.
unfortunately passed away. Prayers to him. And so, again, appreciate the continued support, bro. Nothing but love. E carrega Benfica para o fim do dia. Nothing above Benfica. Players, coaches, they all come and go, but Benfica é sempre, para sempre.
Yeah. To all the Freddies, Happy New Year. As Cristiano mentioned, stay safe, stay aware. And if you ride a bike at night, make sure you wear white. Thanks a lot. Dave, last words.
And wear a helmet. If you're gonna not wear white, at least wear the helmet.
Cristiano, dale.
Já disse o que tinha a dizer, pá.
Dale quatro.
Espera aí.
I love you, Jesus. I love you, Jesus.
Take care, everyone.
Show.